So I'm going to switch gears on you. Okay. And so let's talk about your experience in financial services. Probably, I'm going to make an assumption that when you started, most of the models that were built were things that were interpreting things that had happened. So we just call it business intelligence. And increasingly over the years, these turned into, well, how can we predict what's going to happen or forecast or augment smarter decisions by our people? What have you seen on that journey, and how would you advise other data officers about the way to go to get a virtuous cycle and maybe a bit of a flywheel effect as they're trying to improve the use of data in their organizations?
Yeah, that's a tough question. Just because I would say the role of chief data officers and folks involved in data will wildly vary across firms, and the challenges and expectations that are brought upon them in their role, right? Some may be expected to do analytics or predictive modeling. Others are just, consume as much data as you can or figure out how to get better straight through processing in my system. Right. I think it comes back down to first going back and saying that the unsexy kind of and more invisible responsibilities of the CDO, which is understanding and organizing your data, having a flexible model that can evolve with your organization and with the learning that you do as you're going along this pathway. Next would be understanding it's not always possible to have an enterprise level top-down solution, and that you can accept and model around multiple communities practice that exist even within your own single firm, especially for larger organizations. And therefore that you're going to have different language interpretations across your own data and solving that. And it's understanding those that you interact with. Other firms and organizations who you don't have control over and likely don't agree with the model that you come up with in the first place, or don't agree with how you organize your data and don't have an understanding of your firm. Finding tools and approaches for creating interoperability there and between those different views contextually and approaching it that way. So understanding your own organization first, understanding it's not a monolith and that you have to account for variations within your own firm, and then understanding your customers and the firms that you have to interact with and not making everybody speak Esperanto.
Got it. I love the Esperanto example. I know that it wasn't offered in any of my college curriculum programs. So although we still had Latin available, but not Esperanto. So we've seen a failure there of adoption. I've got one final question for you. A lot of our folks that watch these segments are younger. They're data scientists and data engineers. They're people interested in using data in their line of business. So I want you to look back and you talk to your younger 25-year-old Rich Robinson self. What career advice or other personal advice would you give them right now along their journey?
Well, don't run away. First read, keep an open mind, listen to everybody, not just your peers and superiors, but to the upcoming generations. Data issues aren't going to be solved by technology alone, and throwing business users into the mix will not solve the problem without some other discipline. Like I said, applied linguistics would help, and it'll provide a counterbalance to the technology-only approach. Mostly, you'll probably be wrong about the veracity of different trends. I know I was a big central database person back in the late 90s, and over the first 5 or 6 years of 2000, I definitely switched off from no, there can't be a golden source. So you'll definitely be wrong. It's not bad to be wrong. Just you need to listen and learn, right? Don't be swayed by simple sounding solutions. If it's a simple solution, it's probably not. Don't get frustrated because no one's a subject matter expert in everything. Be the expert where you're the expert and let other experts in other fields help you when they're the expert in their field. There's a book that I reference in my book about subject matter expertise, which I thought was fabulous. But the biggest problem subject matter experts have is that they think that they can transfer their subject matter expertise into something adjacent or even something completely unrelated. So avoiding that pitfall and understanding that other people have input to give. No one accept your limitations, work collaboratively.
So the book by Rich Robinson is Understanding the Financial Industry Through Linguistics, How Applied Linguistics Can Prevent Financial Crisis. And nobody wants a financial crisis. Well, some people do want a good financial crisis, but most of us don't. So go out to Amazon, take a look at Rich's book. Rich, we really have enjoyed being with you today. To learn more about this or to access other interviews, you can go to cdomagazine.tech. I've been Tim Brooks with Worldwide Technology. Rich, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today.
Thank you so much, Tim. It's been great fun.